time. It is time. It is time. Oh, hit it one time. Hit it one time. Hit the fantasy shawl. Hit the fantasy shawl. With that being said, you already know we got to break it down. Last week we gave you the top 10 receivers that we have going into fantasy. B-Shaw was not here last week, so he's going to jump it off. He's going to give you his 10 wide receivers real quick. Then we're going to move into running backs, and hopefully you take some notes. If not, just pause the screen and write it down. Those are watching on YouTube. Those listening, rewind the track and make it go back. And make it go back. What up, Sean? All right, now go ahead, B-Shaw. Put the light on and make it hot.
All right, just off top, I want to let y'all know that I did the top 5. So, and then the other 5 are gonna be off the my 1 through 5 that I thought out. Number 1, D-Hop. D-Hop, who's had the most quarterbacks and still stayed on top. I'm gonna keep Mike Thomas. That balling. Now I know it's a lot of people think it's too young to call it, but man, I'm gonna call it.
Pico.
Julio Jones, 3rd. What's understood doesn't need to be said. Antonio Brown as well. I'm gonna put him at number 4. OBJ is gonna have my number 5. And then 6. Let's go. Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith. I don't know if this is particular order. AJ Green.
Tyreek Hill never made it. Hold on, Juju.
Oh yeah. This is no particular. Once again, I only did my top 5. So
Oh, that's pretty. Hold on, explain to Tyreek Hill because he wasn't in none of our top 10s. Tell us why you had Tyreek Hill up there.
Because he balls. That nigga balls.
I'll tell you why Tyreek Hill wasn't in mine. I don't know if he gonna get suspended or not.
Hey, NFL don't be playing, bro. And then he tell this chick he gonna beat her too. I'm not gonna get into
Hey, we ain't gonna talk about that.
I ain't talking about all that. If my man playing, of course he in there. But if he not playing, I can't put him in there.
Hey, all I know is I'm a Cowboy fan, and we saw what happened to Zeke. Don't trust it until he's out there playing.
Oh man, y'all.
Go ahead, though. What's the next one? Juju.
Juju Smith. Y'all got y'all's list up. Where am I at? Number 8.
Yeah.
What y'all got over here? You got some good picks. I didn't say AJ Green. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, AJ Green's in there.
Man, you the only niggas that got him there.
Nah, I'm throwing AJ Green in there. I said T.Y. Hilton.
Contract year, man.
T.Y.
Amari Cooper. That's good. That's a good pick. There you go. I'm good with that.
All right.
That's nice. No, it's fun. No, go up real quick. He had no, which no shade, but that's why I like seeing all these lists. Go up real quick to ours, because B-Shaw did not have Mike Evans. I respect it though. He didn't have Mike Evans.
That's not to say nothing up against Mike Evans. He could go.
No. I'm just saying it's interesting that you compiled a great list without him. But with that being said, B-Shaw, good ass list, man. Like I said, it's the top 10, so all of us, it's pretty much scrambled.
I want to say my top 5 is solid though. You 1 through 5, that's where I put them niggas.
So you're getting picked. Basically, you're getting picked.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and move forward to the running backs. We're gonna do top 10 running backs again. Like I said, these are gonna be the top 10 that you want to take in, the first, second, third rounds of your draft. You want to get them early. To get you points, depending on how you draft. There are people that do the no running back draft, so that they
wait. Is this okay? One thing I didn't know: are we doing fantasy football running backs? Or are we just saying our best running backs in
fantasy football? All of it's fantasy football.
See, okay, carry on. I didn't understand that before.
That's a good topic. We'll do that one day, though. Our favorite running backs overall, but. Right now, it's just fantasy.
That's different. That's different. It's more different for running backs. So cool.
All right, we'll have you.
Y'all know we got to make modifications for B-Shaw. You need accommodation.
No. I just didn't understand it when we were talking fantasy only. I thought we were talking top in the league, just from.
He thought he was talking about my fantasy.
But that's cool. Hey, we all know I got a fantasy dub, so that's cool.
Right up. Madden fantasy coming to y'all neck on Twitch. You know what I'm talking about? Holla at us.
Hey, running backs. Here we go. I'm gonna go first, man. I'm gonna jump it off, and my number 1 running back is Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, I told Chris something today that I'm not even gonna repeat on air. So I would always take Zeke first. If I had the number one pick in the draft, I would take Ezekiel Elliott. Rest of you got.
Promise to y'all that listen, me and Sean do not plan this. I also have Ezekiel Elliott as my number one. Um, and I'll just say the reason why is because he's the engine that makes the Cowboys go. And I expect really big things from the Cowboys. As a Cowboy fan, I'm nervous to say that, but I expect really big things from them this year. And I believe Zeke to be a part of it because he's catching more balls out the backfield. Pause. But go ahead, though.
Chris,
My next one,
your
like
first one.
I'm really torn because I don't want to tell people to reach on draft picks. So like I'm gonna go with y'all too, just because I know for sure Zeke is gonna produce. So I take Zeke as the number one. If I had the number one pick, I would take Ezekiel Elliott. It's the safest pick to take.
Facts.
Because I'm me, and I gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all done all three picked the nigga that honestly was, I'm not even gonna say that. Saquon Barkley.
That's a good pick, though. Well,
I had Ezekiel too, but like, damn, fuck all y'all.
Take some of the space.
I'm not mad.
out
I'm not
of
mad at that. Though. I will put Barkley up and with confidence.
Yeah, he's I wouldn't. That ain't a bad pick at all,
no,
honestly.
it's not. He's
Uh,
lower on my list, but it's not a bad pick at all.
most well, if you go off of ESPN and Yahoo, he's the number
If we're
one.
talking
Yeah.
about, fantasy,
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
then
I have
it's
no qualms about the pick. The
okay.
dude's a beast. The dude's a beast. I wouldn't call you. I'm not saying that's wrong. That dude's a beast. So it could go. It could go
But
either way.
Ezekiel Elliott's my number two, so you can just go ahead and type that in there.
You gotta wait for your turn. Think I want to be all in a hurry.
Man,
Go ahead.
Go to
trying
the
to get it
big
lined
end
up.
of it.
Yeah.
The
Now
end
push
of it.
enter. Now push enter.
Push enter.
Just push enter.
It's going to.
All right. Uh, my number two is still not Saquon Barkley. I just don't know how this dude dropped to the bottom, man. But they juicing y'all. It's Todd Gurley. There's nothing wrong with that boy knee, man.
All right. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna wait to find out
We'll
though.
find out. But
I'm gonna wait to find out. My number two is actually not Saquon Barkley. He's further down my list. My number two is Christian McCaffrey, purely off of usage rate. The dude's usage rate is so high. It's so fucking high. It makes no sense. The dude gets the ball probably like what every 2 plays, and he not only gets it in, he gets it in the red zone. He gets it on he gets it on run plays, he gets it on pass plays. So I think if you're picking and you don't get a chance to get Zeke and Christian McCaffrey comes up with Cam having the surgery and it looks like he is going to be healthy, I've been paying attention because I'm a Cam Newton fan. I would go Christian McCaffrey 100%. I don't think you can go wrong. He's going to get you what you need.
Chris, so you
I'm gonna
got
step all the way outside of the box right here, and I mean, if it don't work for you, shoot me. But I think if I'm picking in that next range, I can't get Zeke. I'm gonna take my long shot with David Johnson. I feel like as bad as their offense was last year, they don't have no choice but to get better. He got a quarterback
New
who presents
offense.
a running threat. If nothing else, they're gonna run some wildcat. If nothing else, and it'll give him a couple of more running lanes. And beyond the fact he's just the best player on their team, so they're gonna have to figure out ways. Like if Cliff Kingsbury came there and he don't plan on featuring David Johnson next year, if no other year, then he's a bum of a coach anyway and gonna get ran out of town. So I figure David Johnson should get a lot of touches next year.
Zeke number 2 yard. No, go ahead.
Okay, I can't hate
having
on.
nothing. Chris just set it off for me, people. If y'all are in a league and you picking 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and David Johnson is there, pick him. Go ahead, Russ.
All right. My number three, can't miss. We're going to get on the Barkley train. Saquon Barkley is going to be my number three. He actually moved someone else out the list that I had lower, but I'm going him just because, again, usage rate. The Giants look like they're going to suck and look like they're going to have one option, and that is get him the ball. In the words of the great in Friday Night Lights, that big nigga is not going to break. Go ahead.
Chris.
Right there for me, bro, fantasy wise. I'm shaking it up again right here. But give me Alvin Kamara. Like if nothing else, we know what the Saints gonna do, and they gonna get him the rock, and he get you points. Like he's gonna consistently be in the top 5.
He is. B-Shaw,
Christian McCaffrey.
a good one.
This was a fantasy draft right now. That's where I'd be at. Well, I guess I'm gonna have Zeke.
We'll just set up a mock draft. One day we'll have to do a mock draft with all of us on there.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I don't think I think with Cam coming back, he ain't gonna be running like he was. You know, it's gonna man. And even if they scale back McCaffrey's workload, like they gonna be man that he gonna be balling, bro. And I don't think we're gonna have to wait and see. You know, we're gonna have to wait and see how Cam does, but McCaffrey's definitely gonna be up there.
Alvin Kamara too, man. I'm different from y'all. I think that bad teams, if you get the running back, just because they have high usage rates, don't mean they ain't gonna be good. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, Barkley and McCaffrey are not high on my list.
All right. I will say, if you think that the Carolina Panthers aren't going to be any good, I think you're crazy. But we can go over that another day. Me, as far as my number 4, I think I'm going to go off the beaten path. It's going to be a guy that's going to make his introduction into being a top 5 running back from years to come, and that's Joe Mixon. I don't know if anybody watched Joe Mixon or paid attention last year. He's a fantasy beast. He does not fumble the ball, and the Bengals feed him in every way possible. The kid is dope, really dope. He's money in the bag, bag. What you want to say?
Thank you, Russell. I had to fight Chris to get him to draft him last year, and he won us a lot of money, man. So
the dude's nice, man.
Shout out to Russell and shout out to Joe Mixon, and I still hate OU. Go
Boomer.
ahead, Chris.
Hey, I'm gonna take a little different route here too, cause Sean just said it for me, man. Dude got me to the chip in the league, man. So I got Joe Mixon right there at that 5 too. That dude there is reliable as crap.
I'm gonna go David Johnson for my number 4.
Okay. It's gonna be real interesting to see him in that new offense.
Joe Mixon, I got going. You know, we'll see. A little bit lower, but fair enough. I don't think that's a bad pick at all.
It's a bit of a boomer bust, but he showed out.
High, but you know, hey.
It is. But I think if he gets to that, if he does what he's supposed to, he's gonna be regarded as like a top.
Y'all gonna think my number 5 is a bit high, but so carry on.
Oh man, this one is tough for me. It's tough for me. I want to pick him so bad in the first round, and I hope I get to.
Yeah. Type that. That's who I was talking about. I said y'all gonna think my shit high. Hey, put me down.
You got Le'Veon Bell.
Sean.
I guess as y'all know how this goes, Sean, you should probably know who I got right there. It's Le'Veon Bell.
Hey,
the reason why I have him,
team, bro. He on a shitty ass team.
Well, no, actually, it's because he's on a shitty ass team, but it's also the simple fact that he's got a year off. It's a running back. His body's not going to be beat up, and that team's gonna get
shitty ass offense. But I'm riding with him.
But he's a baller, so I'm not gonna sit there and take him out the top 5 because I didn't see him last year, not because he was hurt, but because he said I'm not playing for y'all for cheap. So and don't ever sleep on a young guy with something to prove.
And Russell, I hope you're talking about my boy Sam Darnold. He is on a shitty team, but Darnold is a stud. B. Shaw, Sam Darnold is gonna be a star in this league. He remind me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't know how bad they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna be shitty. They might be mediocre.
This is my thing.
I meant a shittier offense.
I feel what you mean. I'm just saying, we don't mean that they're gonna be like.
What they gonna do though?
The Bills.
They have a hell of a defense. They're gonna play defense and they're gonna run the ball, and it's cold. So that's why I would pick him high. We ain't talking about them being good. Let's keep it.
It's fantasy. If they no matter win, lose, or draw, Le'Veon gonna get his.
Fantasy. They got a great defense and they're gonna run the ball. Chris, who you got top 5? I know you ain't got Le'Veon.
I got Le'Veon there. I got Saquon Barkley there. I mean, shoot, I can't deny the talent. It's just, man, it's gonna be tough for him. But I'm not gonna tell you to not draft a guy that talented.
Le'Veon for me. That's where I was going. That's where my number 5's at. For all of the reasons we done already said.
Yeah,
And
I can't pick against that guy after seeing what he's
it's
capable of.
so
Sean, put that extra L on his name. Go ahead. There you go.
let me stop y'all real quick. We got our top 5 done. So if y'all watching the show right now, some of y'all are probably thinking, Sean, you're insane. And Chris, you got a great top 5. Let's see what else, man. Right here at number 6, I still don't have Saquon Barkley. I just don't. I'm gonna go with McCaffrey right here. Uh, he gonna be pretty good. I think he's a little overhyped personally, and I think if Cam Newton don't come back, for sure wouldn't draft him because everybody's just gonna load the box up and hit him. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's like I said. I've been paying a lot of attention, like a Cam Newton fan. I've been paying a lot of attention, and Cam Newton's gonna kick some ass this year. Um,
I hope
that's just
so.
my thought. Now, as far as my number six is gonna be Alvin Kamara. Um, Only reason why I don't have him in the top 5 is because I expect big things from Latavius Murray, which means that it's going to just automatically lower his production. Not meaning he's worse at all, but Latavius Murray gets to take Mark Ingram's place. While he was in Minnesota, Minnesota didn't have as good as an offensive line. He's going to experience an offensive line that's going to be better, and you might see a little bit more of the Latavius Murray that we saw in Oakland. With the ability to use his speed because he is a bigger back, but he still runs, I believe, a 4.43. So he does have the ability to break it open. And with that being said, I think Alvin Kamara is going to get his, but not as much as the top 5.
Chris, what you got?
Right there, I got C-Mac right there.
Run CMC.
Oh, I get to play outside of the playing field. Good. Melvin Gordon. So I'm going because this is fantasy, and we're at number 6.
I want to ask a quick question. He's cold, and he does rate a lot of. Even though I don't really pay attention to a whole bunch of stats, I don't know his stats do put him like in the top like 5-6 running backs. What are you gonna do?
Go ahead.
What about if and you're a beast with him on Madden? I will respect it. But what you gonna do if he gets traded?
It's not about trading. He talking about sitting out. Even if he get traded, he trying to get his contract.
Can I interject right there, Russ? Can I interject right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Melvin Gordon would have been my number 3, but he talking about sitting out. Fantasy fans and people who play fantasy never pick a guy who misses training camp ever.
Ever.
Always end up getting hurt. Don't ever pick a guy. If he gonna sit out, let him sit out the whole year like Le'Veon.
Unless it's a quarterback.
Ever pick a guy. I'm talking about. Remember Larry John? Go all the way back.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying except for quarterbacks.
I'm just like trying to give people background on fantasy. Like even LJ, who had a beast year and he holds out, and he comes back hurt. I mean,
can I say something? Can I say something about that? I hear what y'all are saying. Did Todd Gurley sit out of training camp?
I don't think so.
He got hurt. Nigga, you can't predict get hurt just because they didn't. By your logic, Le'Veon's gonna get hurt. He sat out a year.
No. Let me interject right there, Besha. So I didn't say. I guess I said sit out. Let me clarify. Hold out. If you're at Camp Bradshaw, you're with the team. You're with the trainers. You got hurt in camp practicing. You in the film room. You in study. You're with your team. Like a NBA player who doesn't play, but he's with his team. I'm talking about holdouts. If Melvin Gordon holds out, he won't be around the team, with the team. Other people will be getting his reps. He doing his own training thing. When Todd Gurley got hurt, he was working out with the Rams trainers. He was getting treatment from the Rams. What I'm saying about Le'Veon, I'm not saying Le'Veon will get hurt this year, but if Le'Veon would have came back in week 12, I absolutely think he would have got hurt. That's why I'm glad he held out. When these dudes work out on their own, they don't be at the facilities of the team. And if we all play football on here, when you are with the team, there's so much that goes into it, bro. When you get hurt being with the team, you with your trainers.
See, and I think that is a very logical and great opinion based on experience of watching football and seeing this. But this is having your superstar running back say, "Hey man, I'm not gonna play this year because fuck y'all." That's not a norm. It's not something that we have enough data.
It's not something we see all the time.
It's not something that we have enough data on to determine what's going to happen at the result. We haven't seen it happen enough.
Right,
You know,
but
I see both y'all's points.
no,
I
but
see both
Bradshaw,
y'all's points.
this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I had Melvin Gordon at number 3 before the news came. Before the news came out that he's
because of the news, that's why he dropped for me. But at the same time, I'm not finna just say, yeah, this thing is. It's still Melvin Gordon,
bro. Me and Chris saw a guy in our fantasy league last year who picked Le'Veon Bell in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin Gordon won't be in my top 10.
His fault,
no, it's not, bro. No, Russell. Time out, bro. Time out, Russell. Please don't do this. Nobody thought Le'Veon was sitting out the entire year. Nobody on this. Don't sit here. Nobody on this.
All I know is in a certain league, when a friend of mine picked him first overall, we all said, "Oh man, you might be fucked in a couple weeks." And guess what?
Might be. You also thought, oh, that might be genius.
It might be genius, right?
Yeah.
So
I will say I agree with both y'all. I agree. Like both y'all make a very good point though, because like Sean, you're right. If a guy doesn't play with his team, yeah, you're gonna have issues. But Bishaw is making a great point too, because you don't know. Like you don't know if he's gonna get hurt or not. But I will say, if you're edging on the side of like caution, I would say yeah, Sean got it. But if you're just 10 toes in the water, like Bishaw said, the dude's gonna perform or not, push start.
Let me get y'all my number 7. And for fans of mine on Sports Plug, I'm not putting Melvin Gordon in my top 10. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. Like, no. Until he come out and say I'll be there in LA.
I'm the only person with Melvin Gordon on their list yet. So hey, fantasy fans, if y'all want a dub, you ride with your boy Bishaw.
My number
DMs come out, it'll kill you.
My number 7 is finally Saquon Barkley. He a beast, man, but me and Chris.
7, that's disrespectful.
Well, me and Chris argue about this logic all the time. I don't think just because a team is bad and a player is good means they're gonna get the ball. I think the Giants are gonna suck and they're not gonna score a lot. So I don't want nothing to do with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but
okay.
At the same time, they can suck and lose, and he can still rush for 200 yards and have like 5 catches.
He can lose rushing like a motherfucker, bro.
Y'all are right.
Y'all aren't right, bro. Because that's not how football works. If you're losing, you're gonna attempt to throw the football, and yes, he's gonna get a lot of points in a PPR format off of catching the ball. But when teams start going up 14-21, like the reality is, that division isn't all that bad. Like, it's a good division. You're playing the Cowboys, who could come out and put 21 points on you real quick, and now you're not running the ball. You're playing against Washington, who's starting to put a defensive line together. And, I mean, we don't know what Dwayne Haskins can do. He might have something. They come out, put 14 on you. Now you're not running the ball. You playing Philly, who got, as Uncle Shannon would say, oh, walk it to him. And Zach Ertz out there, and they added Deshaun Jackson, so they capable of going out there and putting 14 on you real quick, and now it makes running the ball harder. So I'm not saying Saquon ain't gonna put on. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying, for me, I can't deny the talent, but I'm not gonna mislook the division and how bad their team is. They're in rebuild mode. So he gonna eat. But if teams get them in a bad situation, it could be bad for them.
I believe that what you're saying is a good point.
I got a little emergency situation. I'm gonna have to call my call short. I apologize.
All right, be sure we're gonna get you.
We love you,
Yes, sir.
Holla. Be safe, man.
My top 7 is solid.
Solid.
We'll get you other 3.
Russell, you got a 7.
All right. Before I go to 7, I just want to say, Chris,
your computer gonna die, cuz.
Nah, I got my charger coming.
What I want to say real quick to Chris is that you make a valid point, but I will say this is the new NFL, and Saquon Barkley's catching the ball out the backfield a lot more than people maybe are paying attention to.
Oh, nah, he going to get a lot of catches. I'm just saying that, man, when you start getting behind, bro, in football, you're going to have to at some point go down the field.
Yeah, but I understand that, but they're so bad. Like, who they going to throw to? I love Sterling Shepard, but he's not going to be a prime time. But we could go on for days about it.
Russell, you got the 7.
My 7 is going to actually be David Johnson. I want to put him higher. I want to put David Johnson in my top 5, but part of me is weary because I don't know what I'm gonna see. I don't know how that offense is gonna operate, but I do believe that team is just gonna be better than what we saw last year from the previous head coaching regime.
Chris, who
I,
you got at 7?
at 7, I have to say I got. It's tough for me, but fantasy wise, I'm gonna say James Conner. I feel like Pittsburgh, they're gonna be a solid offense. That's just what they are. Like I'm not saying he's gonna be great, but he's the back, and they're gonna put up numbers. Like you'd be crazy to think Pittsburgh ain't gonna put up some numbers. So I would take James Conner if I'm in that end of the range where I'm if I'm in that 10, 11, 12 range. If you're in a 12 team league and you got the comeback, I might would come back with Connor if he's still available. But if these other guys are off the board, definitely I would take James Conner.
I respect that pick, and honestly, the only reason I'm just gonna not gonna lie, I don't have him in my top 10, and it's honestly because I'm scared. I don't know. I'm scared to pick him.
Mike Vrabel, get that man the ball. He's
Mike
my
Vrabel
sleeper
said,
pick.
real quick. I'm sorry, Sean. Do you have me? But I'm gonna
No,
say something.
yeah,
Mike
we
Vrabel said
shouldn't
he.
say
Mike
that.
Mike Vrabel said he.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. Mike Vrabel said he cut his dick off to win a Super Bowl. It got real quiet. All right, so my number 8. Um, my number 8's going to be. This was a hard pick because I wanted to pick. I'm gonna explain it like this. I wanted to put Nick Chubb. I wanted to put Nick Chubb as my number 8, but I can't do it. I love your pick, Sean, but I gotta go Leonard Fournette. I mean,
that
only
was gonna be
thing
my number 8. He's my
only
9.
thing, only thing, and he made it over Nick Chubb just a little bit because I had Fournette on a team before. The only thing stopping this guy is getting hurt. He's gonna get the ball a whole lot. He has really good production. Nick Foles is going to be able to throw the ball, and so with them actually having what's going to be a little bit of a passing game, I think it's going to reduce those 8-man fronts. And Leonard Fournette's a good. I like Leonard Fournette, man. I know that people have their doubts about him. They say he's immature, blah blah blah. You give that man the ball, he'll produce for you if he's healthy. And if fifth was a fifth, you already know. But go ahead, Chris.
Hey, I'm right with you. You can keep writing. We can keep this moving along. I got Fournette right there at 8 for all the same reasons.
So I want to ask you real quick though, Chris. Like, do you understand why people are like down on him?
No, I have no idea. He's my 9.
I've literally heard people saying like, I'm not going to draft him at all. And I'm just like, you're crazy. Like, if he's there for me in like what? Let's just say the third, maybe third or fourth round. If I get a chance to get him piggyback with two good receivers, I'm taking that chance all day. It's production. Now as far as what's this number 9? My number 9, I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb at number 9. Now the reason why I'm going with Nick Chubb at number 9 is because I think that Duke Johnson's gonna get traded.
Where you get them from?
Oh wait. Sorry, folks. Hold on. Real quick. Let me let Sean get back so he can type it. But I want to do Nick Chubb at number 9. Now the reason why I'm doing Nick Chubb at number 9 is gear, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The reason why I'm doing Nick Chubb at number 9 is just because with all those weapons on that team, I don't care what people say. You're not going to be able to put 8 in the box. If you do put 8 in the box against the Cleveland Browns, you're going to have a shit show on your hands.
I got Todd Gurley at 9. Like I like Todd Gurley. Trust me, I like him higher than 9. But my fear is it's just with running back and how much usage he done been the last few years. I just miss out on it.
And,
Like
I, and let
he
me
goes off and goes nuts, and that's just not it for me.
and I love Todd Gurley as a player. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I hope he's healthy. But in terms of fantasy and me and the people that are watching trying to build their fantasy team off of what I say, hey, at your own risk. But I'm not taking him. They said arthritis and knees. Until I see him produce, I'm not taking him. When you got a plethora of other running backs that can help you out. So I'm just staying away from him. I'm just scared of him, man. Mac and cheese.
Andrew's gonna try to run the ball. They always try to run the ball. They got a good
Oh, I,
offensive
I like. I had the mac and cheese.
coach.
I got the mac and cheese last. I call Marlon Mack the mac and cheese.
But
Uh,
I wanted
I
to
go
I
ahead.
wanted to slash it. Can I slash it? Can I have 2 in the top 10? Can I
Nah,
slash
you
it?
can use your next one as your honorable mention.
Okay, I use him as
like
my.
we did with receivers. But nah, you don't get two in the top
Well,
10.
no, well, I got this dude over Marlon Mack, so let me change it.
All right, whoop, whoop, we got to change. Ah,
Kenyon
nice
Johnson, man.
one. But
This
he
dude
plays
is,
for Detroit, doesn't he?
yeah, but this dude is an animal,
He
man.
is an animal, but
He's
Detroit doesn't.
awesome.
I'm just. He is an animal, but you know Detroit. Did they ever get there past that? What they hadn't had a guy rush for 1,000 yards in how many years?
That mean
Like,
they gonna
Nah,
try.
but no,
yeah,
he's a good one to try.
dude is
I mean,
monster.
he's a good one to try. Now, my 10th back. Um, a lot of thought went into this, and I have two guys left that I would like, and I'm gonna go with the guy that I think is gonna come back healthy. They got rid
Dalvin
of
Cook.
no, not Dalvin Cook. That's a good pick though, but he's gonna be more so. He's lower down my line. I like Devontae Freeman. I think Devonta Freeman is gonna come back healthy. I think Devonta Freeman is gonna get you yard, especially in the PPR league. And by if y'all haven't paid attention, we are doing this all based off of PPR. But if you have him in the PPR league, he's gonna catch the ball out the backfield. He's gonna get carries. And forgive me, guys, what's the name of the guy that was on the team with him that ran for Indiana? The backup running back that took some of his carries.
Tevin
Tevin
Coleman.
Coleman. Tevin Coleman is no longer there. And so I think that it's going to be the Devonta Freeman show. Now, if he gets hurt, like I said, if is a fifth. So let's just hope that all things are healthy. And I would for sure put Devonta Freeman on my team. And I'll just say this real quick for those watching. I pay attention to trends and not so much stats, but trends, and players in this league tend to go up, down, up, down. So when you have a guy on a down year, unless it looks like he's on his way out the league, the next year it'd be pretty smart to look into that.
And mine is gonna be Dalvin Cook. I think them dudes, he back healthy. I think they're gonna try to get him to rock. I'm not saying I like him that much. I mean, it's one of those boom or bust, but I do think that if he's healthy, like they're gonna try to get him. They're gonna see what he got, being that they drafted him.
I would fear with that one, and I like the guy as far as the talent that you picked, but I fear that their offensive line may be boo boo. Honorable mention. I'm sorry.
Sleeper.
Do honorable mention because our sleeper episode is going to confuse people.
Oh, I put sleeper right there for
Yeah.
the receiver. So
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, y'all
yeah.
don't get confused. These sleepers are pretty much our honorable mentions for our top 10. We will have a full episode going over sleepers to pick when you don't know what else to do and you're confused when it's like round 8 and
Man,
stuff.
it's so many good backs out there. We didn't have Aaron Jones in there. We didn't have
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't have Aaron Jones, Marlon Mack, Chris Carson. We left a lot of guys out. But somebody for me is going to be this guys.
If he, now that's a big fifth of an if. And he's a very, very dope running back, but is he gonna play?
It seemed like it.
I mean, and me, people. One rule of thumb I always will tell y'all: don't pick Redskins because they trash. How about them Cowboys? Uh, now I'm just playing. Don't ever follow that advice. Don't choose your players on teams you like and dislike. You'll lose at fantasy all the time. My
I almost picked
sleeper,
Miles Sanders, but go ahead.
my I had trouble picking my honorable mention. One guy's a system guy that I believe the system will propel him to great things. Another guy is a guy that he just intrigues me, and I'm gonna go with the second. People may think I'm crazy. I might have should have left him as a sleeper, but I think Kenyon Drake is gonna put in some work in Miami. I think he's gonna put in some major work in Miami. Um, and I just let the people know my other one's not going to be too much of a sleeper, but Damian Williams from Kansas City, the system's going to propel him to big numbers.
Mine's I'm gonna go with Tevin Coleman. I feel like he gonna have like I really wanted to put him over Dalvin Cook. I feel like they got him real low right now, but just being a Houston Texans fan, the one thing I do know about the Shanahans is they gonna go out there and they gonna run that rock. And with Tevin Coleman back there, he's familiar with the system. He didn't played in the system before. Like I think he gonna go out there and he gonna put up a good showing running that ball. So just me personally, I would say Tevin Coleman is a guy. If you got a chance to get him, it ain't a bad idea because I do think just what knowing what I know about that team and that coach and just how they play, they gonna do a lot of running the ball, and that's not a bad guy to have if you're in a PPR league standard, regardless, because he's gonna get touchdowns because they're gonna get to the goal line. And I mean, he's a good back. He's big, and he hasn't played a lot. Like he's been splitting carries, so I think he's gonna get to have his breakout time in the
I
sun.
really, I really like that pick, bro. And I'm also piggyback off that and just say that one is a good pick as far as a player. As far as a team, if Jimmy Garoppolo stays healthy, I like the 49ers moving forward. I like what they're putting together there.
Yo, that's dope. So man, we got running backs for y'all, and next show we'll be doing defenses and
Tight
tight
ends.
ends.
Yeah, next show, just as Sean said, just to repeat for y'all that didn't listen to what he said. Next show will be will be the defenses, and it will also be the tight ends. After that, we're gonna go over sleepers. So just a mass thing of sleepers. And guys, I know everybody's not here, but we should probably have a special episode for the viewers, just as we do a. Sean, you could probably put it up on a computer screen and screenshot it, do like a mock draft or something like that, so we can go over each of our picks, so we can see, so people can see kind of like the differences in how people pick, compared to what they're doing. Like we're out here to help. We're out here to help you. But that was Sports Blood for today. All those that listen on all the programs, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, those that view on YouTube. If you're viewing us on YouTube, please, please, please go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Keep hitting it. And if you really want to get the knowledge, go ahead and hit that little bell so you get that notification when we do something new. It's Sports Plug. Hey, closing shots. Chris, what you got to say to the people in closing?
I got two things to say. The first thing is big ups Russell Westbrook in the city. The second thing is shout out Zion. I think his time is coming.
The King of New Orleans.
Hey man,
The King in the South with an F.
I'ma just say the zero and Zion, man. Stop eating all them beignets, man. They said that boy 310. They said he 310, bro. You gotta stop
Oh,
eating,
man.
Zion.
Hey,
You
Zion
looking
look
like
like
Sean
a.
Kemp.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Chris. What we compare him to? Sean Kemp and Charles Barkley. Them two fat motherfuckers. But hey, yeah, he just gotta keep his weight up. But closing shots for me. I just want to say this, Mavericks fans. Don't feel bad, man. We just not doing a lot, but appreciate what we have done. Like I said earlier, it's coming to a duo league. We got the two European players. Don't let the fact that they're European get to you. They might be white by skin color, but by game, they're Euros and they're going to do their thing. Because I know a lot of people are like, we Europeans ain't going to win. Dallas Mavericks got two of the best European players to come into the league since Dirk Nowitzki. And they're also going to backdoor with the next Jason Terry and Seth Curry. Watch out for that. And if Iggy comes to the Mavs, I really don't care. But it'll be a good idea, a good addition because he's just trying to find his way back to the Warriors. Other than that, again, it's Sports Plug. Hit the like. Follow us on all the social media platforms. This is me, Rusty J GTD, or Sports Plug GTD on Instagram for the sickest highlights. That's Sean. That's Chris. We're Sports Plug. We love you, and we out.
Deuce, deuce.